So welcome to part two. So once again, thank you so much for everybody who joined the first part of the live until my phone died. So I had to go get my other phone, so that I can finish the recording. Yeah. So what I was saying is, the title of this video is how embracing God as a woman helped me to heal. So that's why I wanted to have this conversation and dive deeper into it with you all. But like I said, these are the types of topics that I'm going to go in on more. And when I say topics, it's not even so much the topic, but it's the entire essence of it, right? I'm gonna go in on my new channel that's called Hips and Gnosis. Hips and Gnosis. That's Gnosis, right? And the reason it's called Hips and Gnosis is because in in the sway of our hips, and if you know, you know, ooh, baby. But in the sway of our hips, in the wisdom in our womb, so much of the wisdom in our womb was hidden from us, was taken and bastardized and then used to create systems of oppression for us and for our people. And that's what it is. And so hypnosis really dives into all manner of things, right? Because we'll be talking about some of that womb wisdom that is naturally innate. Now, the first episode, there's only one episode that's on the YouTube channel right now. You can go to the Hips and Gnosis YouTube channel and take a look at that. There, I'm actually interviewing one of my legal clients, Jackie, and we're going to actually do a follow-up on that, a part two. And she's talking about what she experienced going through her divorce and some of the lessons that she learned in divorce. We're going to follow that up with a part two and talk more about that. But I'm having conversations like this, real conversations with real people who have gone through some real life shit and have had to work and to overcome, nasty. But anyway, hypnosis. But and literally in order to overcome some of the challenges that we all go through in this creation of life itself, right? And so, like I said, for me, so much became clear. Oh, child, outside. I know things just be flying in the air and just be, you just you breathe it all in, right? So again, going live outside is a magical thing. So I'm grateful that y'all here with me. But yeah, so for me, and I'm sure that it's so many women will resonate with this, and I know this to be true because I grew up in a time when most of my female friends molested, had been raped, had been sexually assaulted, so had been violated in some way. And again, I'm only speaking to the female experience because I am, right? And so again, to my men out there, we'd love to hear your stories too, and the things that you overcame. But this conversation is what we're talking about, is this experience and what I learned through my personal experience, right? And so in that, so many of us have been violated. And that's a whole other thing about, the system that literally feeds on the innocence and the energy of children in order to perpetuate fuck shit. It perpetuates fuck shit by feeding on the energy of the innocent, the most innocent, the children, right? And so now, like, looking at that, of course, from the perspective that I'm able to look at it now, looking at it from a God's eye view, I'm now able to see the pattern, right? And why so many of my young friends, including myself, had these experiences happen to us, right? And in part, it is because children carry this innocent divine light that these beings can actually see in the child. And so they want to siphon this energy from the children and suck the life out of them. And so when you do that, you not only take their light, their lux, their louche, you take their energy for yourself, But then what you do, and shout out to the brothers in the chat. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate y'all so much. Thank you. But you know, you take the innocence of children and you use that energy. Because if y'all have seen the movie Sinners, you know exactly what I'm talking about, right? It's this parasitic, vampiric energy that sucks the life force from the living, right, to feed, right? And so these systems and this energy is parasitic in nature, right? And being parasitic in nature, it has to have a host to feed from, right? And as women, we are the birthers of these babies. We are the birthers of these children. And again, I will dive so deeply into this in hips and gnosis because, you know, that really is the more appropriate channel versus conscious creations. But all of it is still these conscious creations, right? But I say all of this to tell you all, specifically my sisters out there who may be experiencing these things or have had to heal from these things. No, you're not crazy. No, you're not crazy. No, you're not crazy, right? You've experienced some shit that has caused maybe some mental disruption. And this is why I create the products that I do, because I've been there, right? To help bring us back into balance within ourselves. Because a lot has happened to create these mental schisms between the masculine and the feminine energy within. And so that reflects externally as well, right? And so it's so important at this time to allow yourself to be guided by your internal tuition, right? That internal tuition that you have paid in this thing called life through your experiences, through your spirit, your internal spirit that is leading you and guiding you and giving you wisdom along the way. Because for so long, through all of the different ways, thank you, sunshine. Oh, listen, oh, it just hit different. But through all of the ways that so many women have been pulled outside of themselves and their energy scattered and fractured has left so many mentally fractured. But that was the intent, right? Because if you're fractured on any level, how do you create from a place of wholeness and balance if you are in and of yourself imbalanced? And instead of being imbalanced, right, be internally, right? Your revenue is internal. Your revenue is internal. Your revenue is internal. So bring it back into balance within yourself. Do you see what I'm saying? So that you can build from a stable and solid foundation that is from a place of wholeness, from having healed any fatherhood issues that have left that masculine aspect of yourself fractured, right? That external energy that you give, but also that energy that you are able to open yourself up to receive. So allowing those things within you to be brought into balance so that you can create consciously. And so with that being said, I want to remind you all that one of the products that I've created, actually two different products actually that I will speak to, that I've created that are amazing for bringing balance back within, is one, the Get Rich Quick tool chest, right? Go to my website, www.consciouscreations.live. Both products were actually a hit. I recently did a vending at a farmer's market, and we had a urban farm fest here in Maryland about two weeks ago, I think it was. And both of those things were a hit. And so shout out to y'all. I'm so grateful for everybody who purchased the products, everybody who showed up. Thank you so much. But the Get Rich Quick tool chest, the reason it is that is because it truly is a treasure trove of richness. And when I say richness in this capacity, as within, so without. So what happens is when we go through this energetic warfare, right? and our energy is being pulled and depleted in all manner of ways, what happens is it impacts the way that our body is able to process and digest minerals, right? The very minerals and the very nutrients that we need to survive and to thrive, right? One of the primary minerals, well, let me say it this way. In the tool chest, it contains 31 spirulina capsules, right? And if you are not familiar with spirulina, it is a blue-green algae that is in the ocean, of course, right? And the reason that is important is because it is very rich in magnesium, iron, and iodine. That is important because every one of the cells in your body needs magnesium. That is that ma, right? That ma, maternal, that is that mothering, nurturing, nurturing the cells, right? And so when we talk about repairing and healing the cells, we're talking about on a DNA level. We are talking about healing the mitochondrial energy within your body. The mitochondria comes from, it is the powerhouse that literally empowers your cells. And so what happens is when the mitochondria takes damage, it takes damage. And so what happens is it frays and fractures the DNA. And so the DNA can't do what it needs to do in that double dutching braiding sort of way. It can't do what it needs to do to function properly because it doesn't have that mothering, right, from the ocean and the moon, and it doesn't have that, right? Because everything is being pulled out of it and made to go outside of yourself, and that is pulling and pulling and pulling, but it's not nurturing. It's not giving you anything back. It's simply taking from you and depleting you of your energy, your minerals, your resources. And so coming back within yourself allows you to truly nurture your cells, right? And so the spirulina capsules is going to give you that ocean energy, that deep ocean, that deep waters, that deep black darkness that you can't even see because it is unfathomable, right? Because that energy of the ocean is fed by the moon. And that is that subconscious maternal energy. So that subconscious programming, those things that you can't see that are going on within your body. It is the seed that is planted that you may know that the seed is being planted, but you don't know what it's doing down there because it's doing what it needs to do in order to grow. The same thing happens within because you can't see what's happening inside your body. You just need to know that you need to make sure that your cells and your mitochondria has what it needs in order to function properly to keep you alive. And not just alive, not just in survival mode because we off that. We are thriving. This is why it is the get rich quick. Because most of us, if you are following the standard American diet, it is designed to keep you poor spiritually, energetically, and nutritionally. And so get rich quick. Feed yourself and your cells the energy that you need for nourishment, nurturing, sustainability, for thriving. Okay, because we off that survival template, right? Secondarily, in this toolkit is a sow thistle tincture. Now, sow thistle is considered a weed, as a lot of plants are, right? A lot of the things that are very nutrient rich that we don't actually use in traditionally, right? These are things more that you will see in, well, I'm sorry, in Western medicine. What you will see these more so in like traditional or Eastern medicine. You may see these things. People using using the actual elements of nature for medicinal purposes because she's a mother. What mother doesn't? Mother, you're going to heal your child. You're going to give them what they need in order to survive and to thrive. But particularly in Western culture, under capitalism and colonialism, people have been taught to kill, to literally poison the earth, to kill the very weeds that are rich in nutrients and minerals and medicinal qualities that actually your body needs. So one of the things that sow thistle does. It has the plant itself has serrated shaped leaves, like much like swords. So when I look at sow thistle, I look at a sword that cuts both ways. And so it is a very resilient plant. Like it will literally grow. It will grow in the rocks. It don't care. It's gonna grow. It's gonna do what it's gonna do because it is what it is. So it is what it is. And so that resilience, as it grows tall on its stalk, it produces these flowers from a head like sunflowers. They're in the same family as sunflowers, right? And because of that, it grows up through a stalk and it produces these beautiful yellow flowers. And if you know anything about, if you really dive into symbolism and things like that, the color yellow it speaks to not only the sun, but in the fact that it speaks to the sun, it speaks to our solar energy, the energy of the solar plexus, which is the seat of your willpower within you. A lot of folks their willpower has been compromised, right? Their solar plexus energy has been compromised by giving their willpower to external entities to govern and to control them, right? And that is your solar energy. Do you see what I'm saying? But that solar energy literally helps with the digestive process that your body needs to go through in order to be able to receive and digest all of the information that your cells are receiving through the food and the nutrients that you are giving it. But in the event that you are being depleted of your solar codes, you understand, shout out to Solara Rises and Solara Speaks, because she be talking about it. So if y'all are not familiar with Solara, go follow her on YouTube. She is amazing. She talks a lot about the solar codes that come through the 8-8 portal and the Lion's Gate. But that's what happens. These solar codes that literally come from the sun are taken from you because you're not realizing that you're not actually processing and digesting, right? Because you don't have your body is not able to hold on to the very nutrients that are needed because they're being sucked from you through these external sources. You understand? So the sow thistle is going to help to build up, and the sun comes out, and you can't make this up. So the sow thistle is really going to help to boost your immunity. Okay, that's why that's included in the Get Rich Quick tool chest. Finally, well, actually, there's 4 things, but you can get it with or without. It depends on where you are. On the website, it has all 4, but when I sold it at the urban market, I didn't include the 4th ingredient, the 4th tool. But the 3rd tool is the Conscious Creations black seed oil. So we make our own black seed oil at Conscious Creations. We literally started growing our own black seed or Nigella sativa plants, and those it's such a powerful, y'all hear me, powerful seed, because in the seed is life. Okay, in the seed is life, in the seed is information. And these black seeds they are basically good for everything, And when I look at these things, and please do your research on this stuff, it helps to heal the very thing that I was talking about, the mitochondria. Okay, the mitochondria, the DNA, it helps to heal the DNA. And so our black seed oil is made with grapeseed oil. And grapeseed oil is amazing because it helps to heal and deal with the veins and the blood flow and the nervous system in order to really get through your body and get through the cells, get through, all of the communication system within your body so that things are communicating the way that it needs to. And then the seeds carry the information through your cells using the oils that are going to spread that through your body. And collectively putting all of these things together, they contain omegas 3, 6, and 9. And you will hear me talk about that a lot because that is the key to actually healing the cells, is making sure that your body has omegas 3, 6, and 9, because that deals with the brain health, the heart health, and the digestive health. And your digestive system is like your second brain, right? The gut brain, you talk about the gut brain barrier. And so the Conscious Creations black seed oil is really going to work with that gut brain barrier to help bring that level of healing that the body needs in order for things to flow the way that they need to, so that you actually have that, that balance within you. You see what I'm saying? And the fourth thing is lion's mane. It contains a lion's mane tincture. Right now we have it on sale. It's $111 for the entire toolkit. That includes the three things I just mentioned and I think it's a 2 ounce bottle of our double or dual extracted lion's mane tincture. Now, I only work with the best and the best quality of folks, and so wherever I'm getting our supplies from, trust and believe that they've been vetted and they will be vetted and things like that, because our goal is always to bring you the highest quality. And so our lion's mane tincture is like I said, is dual extracted to make sure that it is potent, and the reason being because lion's mane contains what's called NGF, which stands for nerve growth function. So a lot of folks, in dealing with the false matrix system and the energy of these energetic vampires have been sucking the life from people, right? It frays the nervous system, right? Because the nerves, if you think about the nerves, like you think about electrical impulses, and if you've ever seen like a live wire, or even if you've just seen it on television, a live wire is just kind of spastastic, right? It's just kind of all over the place, right? That is a live nerve. And so when you see someone who's operating in this energy, right, all the time, it is because their nervous system is not properly calibrated. You see what I'm saying? And so the lion's mane contains a nerve growth function that's going to help with that anxiety that is created by damaged nerves. And if the nervous system is always under attack and it always is in this fight or flight mode, then that creates a situation where the body is constantly in survival. This is why I said we're off that survival stuff. We are thriving and we are operating from healed nervous systems at this point because we have the tools to be able to do so. And so Conscious Creations is bringing you that in the Get Rich Quick tool chest, so that you can operate from a properly calibrated nervous system, and that you can, not function, or you can function from a whole and healed, healthy place. And even if you're not there 100%, at least you have the tools to help you work through the things that you're working through to get there. Do you see what I'm saying? Because most of the times, we don't have the proper tools or the proper information to get the tools, to ask the proper questions, or whatever the case, to be able to feed our cells and to give our bodies what we actually need to thrive. And these are just some of the tools, that I've learned along the way. And this is why I share these things with you all. Because like I said, after all of my experiences and dealing with constantly really just giving my energy away, because looking for this external validation, through this what I thought was an externalized God force or God source. I felt very much outside of myself. Do you see what I'm saying? And so in order to remember, put myself back together again, I had to call back all of those pieces of myself that I allowed to be scattered external to me, so that I can see myself whole, right? And see the divinity within myself in order to bring forth this information to you all. And so it's been quite the journey. And so those of you who've been with me on the journey, I'm so grateful for you. And if you've ever bought anything from Conscious Creations, you've also been a part of that journey, right? Because everything is everything. Shout out to Miss Lauren Hill for giving us that gem. Everything is everything. Now, the other thing that I wanted to bring to you all was is the lymphatic drainage toolkit, and that is called My Revenue is Internal. And that is because indeed your revenue is internal. Your true worth, your true value, the true essence of who you are. Your internal, your value is internal. And I understand. I had this conversation with my love yesterday, because every reflection of me is my love, right? And so I had this conversation with my love yesterday, and how, yes, people do assign value to others, but value is just really what you are willing to pay for whatever, right? It is what it is. And so that is set by something, meaning, people's belief or validation, or, of what people consider things to be worth. Now, here's the thing. When you are operating from a nervous system that is not properly calibrated, or that is calibrated on the paradigm of colonialism, capitalism, patriarchy, and survival at all costs, you may see value in things that your value system looks different, right? I mean, it does, right? So to someone who only has, $5 in their bank account, right? $100 seems like a lot. Do you see what I'm saying? But to someone who has $1 million, $100 is like, I wipe my ass with that. Do you see what I'm saying? So it's really all about perspective and perception. And so what I'm saying is to be able to see clearly, and not from that survival template that always makes you feel like you have to take from others in order to survive. And you feel like there's never enough, because that's the training. Again, because it puts your system in the system of fight or flight, and the system of deficit and depletedness. This is why having those minerals in your body is important, so you remember that you are already rich. Because internally you're already rich. Your cells aren't depleted and fighting to survive. Do you see what I'm saying? You're not in fight or flight mode, so you can actually see true value. You can actually see the value and wisdom, and you can see these things more clearly because energetically you are in a place of richness. You are internally rich. And so that brings me to the my revenue is internal toolkit. Now, that is a lymphatic drainage and massage toolkit. And the reason I love this toolkit is because it is what it is. So in this toolkit, what you'll receive is a charcoal and mint soap, first and foremost, because you're gonna wash with that. It's a black and white soap. Again, we're looking at everything. So the black and white, we're talking about bringing balance, because that's the goal, is bringing balance to your system. So you're gonna wash with this bar. The charcoal, of course, is for detoxifying. The mint is for opening up your mind. Mint mind, right? Opening up your mind. So as you are washing and showering, you are literally washing away anything that leaves you in illusion, anything that's creating illusion, confusion, veils over your eyes that are not allowing you to see your true value. You are going to wash with that. There's also a dry brush. Now, if you are familiar with, a dry brush, it's literally a brush. So the ones that we have are like a little hand that you put it, like it has a little strap that you put on, on your hand, and you brush. And what you're gonna do, and it comes with instructions, what you're gonna do is you're gonna actually brush the places where the lymphatic fluid in your body actually coalesces. And that's literally in the back of your neck here. So when you start to, feel like your lymph nodes swollen, so this is where this is one of the places where the lymphatic fluids can coalesce. And so you want to make sure that you are flushing that under your arms, right? You're gonna brush under your arms and brush your breast area, particularly for women, but for everyone, because we all have breast tissue. You're going to do your not your thymus, your thymus gland. So here, because your thymus gland is actually the seat of your immune system, right? Right here, your thymus gland between your breast area. So you're gonna massage, right? You're gonna make sure that you are massaging these areas and doing your dry brush, and you're gonna brush it and flush it, right? On the backs of your knees. So you may feel like what feels like fat pockets on the backs of your knees. More than likely, it's lymphatic fluid that has not been able to circulate properly and flush out of the body, right? So what you're gonna do is you're gonna use the brush to do that. Then what you're gonna do is, in the event that you feel like, say for instance, like a lot of times people have these tension, of course the tension and the fluids will build up on the back of your neck. So it includes a brown 100% cotton washcloth, it includes that. So if you are having particular areas of extra fluid buildup, what you are going to do is you are going to take the lymphatic drainage oil that is included and is made with castor oil and different oil blends and juniper berries, all simple herbs and oils, right, that are specifically made to flush the lymphatic system, right, and to reroute and replenish your cells naturally. You understand? So what it's going to do is you will put this oil, say for instance you have the fluid build up on the back of your neck, right? And so you're going to put this oil on the back of your neck after you do your dry brushing, because the brushing should be when your skin is dry, not oily or wet. So you're going to put this oil on. You're going to put the cloth in hot water. You're going to allow it to cool a bit so you don't burn yourself, right? Use wisdom. And you're going to put it on the back of your neck and allow the oils and the heat, right, to be absorbed into your bloodstream. Because remember, what you put on your skin gets absorbed into your bloodstream. That includes your lotions, your perfumes, the oils, everything. So this is why we consciously create, because we're aware of that, okay? All of the ingredients are on the bottle. So you know what's in it, right? So you're gonna take these oils and you're gonna allow that to be flushed out of your body, okay? Then, right, once you're done with that, now it's always good to do this before bed, and the reason why is because of the final step. The final step includes a set of 10, well I guess it's a set of 5 because it's a set, so it's 10 total foot pads for 5 days. Now you're not gonna do this 5 days in a row, right? I would say do this close to like the full moon, because that's when you're releasing, right? So close to the full moon, what you want to do is do this flush close to the full moon. Put the after you do everything else, put the foot pads, put one on each of the bottoms of your feet, and you sleep in that. You cover your feet with socks, and maybe we'll start to include socks in it. Maybe we'll do that, but right now it doesn't include socks. You got to include your own. So put socks on, right, and go to sleep. And so as you are resting and your body is recalibrating and everything based on the process that you've just taken it through, the foot pads are going to pull out, because I think they contain, I think it's ginger that's in them. And as you know, ginger is very, very a potent medicine. And so these foot pads are actually going to pull all of those toxins, all of those things that you've just now stirred up in your body. You want to make sure that you finish it up with the foot pads, because it's going to allow all of those things that came from the top all the way to the bottom and pull out the toxins from your body, okay? Because it's important to make sure that your lymphatic system that actually is responsible for releasing these toxins from your body is able to function properly. Because when these toxins get built up in the body, they create dis-ease and disharmony within the body. So this is why I wanted to bring to you all the Get Rich Quick tool chest, and my revenue is internal. Because at the end of the day, it is about restoring you to your true wealth, your true value, which is internal. And sometimes when we focus so much on the doings and the goings on of life that we really forget about ourselves. And so this is really a call for you to look at yourself and to step back in to the awareness of the self and how powerful you truly are as a creator, to be able to create, to create, to create manifestation, to create. You have that power, you have that gift, you have that ability. But to remind you of that, to bring that back within yourself so that you can consciously create from your best and highest self. And remember to restore the God and the goddess within you. And so I hope this information is helpful to someone. Please do the thing, right? Like, share, subscribe if this resonated with you. Share this with someone that you think this will be beneficial to. And I'm grateful. I'm very grateful for this journey. I'm grateful for all of those who've been on this journey with me. I am grateful for the wealth of knowledge, the wealth of intuition, the wealth of of gifts that have been bestowed to me that I can share with you all. And so please, let's continue the conversation in the comments. If it resonates with you and these are some things that you are working through, let's talk about it. And also, I'm considering doing like an ongoing, I don't know what to call it, workshop. I don't know, cohort. People use all sorts of words, but basically what it would be is like a group of us meet together. If you've had the experience, for women in particular, if you've had the experience of having to overcome these abandonment and childhood wounds in order to step into your own goddess essence, and that's something that you still would like support and help working through, I'm considering creating a course or something like that we can work through some of these things together. If that's something that you're interested in, please drop that in the comments. Let me know some of the different topics that you guys would like to cover, some of the things that you may be experiencing that you may need some help or guidance with. And if you know where you are on your journey and you need more focused, direct help and direct attention, you can visit my other website at thetishahillman.com, where I am the relationship oracle, because for those of you that know, I've spent the last 13 years as an attorney, helping folks with all manner of things, including relationships. We're talking folks that were from adoption to death, right? So all and everything in between. So we're talking helping folks with family law issues and contracts, working through all sorts of things, right? So if you guys need more focused and direct attention on particular things and you want to work with me privately, you can do so. Go to my website, www.thetishahillman, that's TISHAHILLMAN.com. And make sure you guys tune in to the Hips and Gnosis podcast, where we'll be diving deeper into this feminine wisdom, this womb wisdom, to really guide and help folks to really open up and to explore the depths of who you are in all manner of ways, to really unlock your best and highest self. And that is hipsandgnosis.com. Thank you so much, y'all, for tuning in. And I send you love, so much love. Love yourself well, because you deserve it.